Hey everyone, welcome back. You know that feeling you get on election night, watching the results roll in and thinking, man, how's this going to shake things up?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're diving into that, but for the stock market. Buckle up, because we've got expert predictions breaking down how this election could send certain stocks soaring or plummeting.
It's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, we're talking best case, worst case, and what if it's a total nail biter, a tie?
Oh, nobody wants to think about that.
But we got to be prepared for
Yeah.
anything, right? And we're not just going to stay high level. We're getting into the weeds of specific companies, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly, because that's where the real impact is going to be felt, right?
100%. So let's get started. Scenario one. Harris takes the Oval Office. Experts are saying this could be a pretty rosy picture for the market.
Yeah, a lot of the predictions point towards optimism if Harris wins. There's this sense of, okay, things are going to be stable, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Stability is good for business, right?
For sure. And her focus on diversity and inclusion, that's being seen as a huge plus, especially when you consider the potential for boosting the workforce.
Right, by making legal immigration easier.
Exactly. More people able to work, contribute to the economy. It's a win-win.
And let's not forget, this would be historic. The first female president. Do you think that's going to have any impact on the market, like sentiment-wise?
I think it's going to be huge. It's a big shift, right? And there's a lot of excitement building, especially in sectors that align with her policy priorities.
Gotcha. So what are we talking about specifically?
Well, renewable energy, for one. Companies like Nextra Energy, they're massive in wind and solar, building projects all over the world. They're poised to benefit big time.
Makes sense. Clean energy's hot right now, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it all ties into that EV stock trend that's already picking up steam.
Okay, so renewable energy is one to watch. What about tech? Harris is from California, the tech hub, and she's all about innovation.
Right. Right. That California connection is key. She's a big advocate for advanced tech, especially AI and biotech.
Yeah, like self-driving cars and all that.
Even more than that, think personalized medicine therapies tailored to your DNA. It's mind-blowing stuff.
Wow, that's like sci-fi becoming reality.
And that's the future she's pushing for, you know? So companies working on that kind of cutting-edge stuff, they could see explosive growth.
Okay, so we've got green energy, advanced tech. What else are experts predicting under a Harris administration?
Housing is an interesting one. She's proposed some policies aimed at increasing middle-class homeownership.
Ah, so if those go through, we could see a surge in demand.
Exactly. Which would be great news for home builders, all those related industries.
Okay, so scenario one, Harris wins, looking pretty bright overall. But let's switch gears now. Scenario two, Trump makes a comeback. What's the vibe from economists on this one?
This one's a little more cautious, I'd say.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, there's concern about potential debt and inflation, especially considering some of the economic policies from his first term.
Yeah, I can see where those concerns are coming from.
Yeah.
But, even with risk, there's always opportunity. So which sectors could actually thrive under a second Trump term?
Definitely energy. We saw a lot of deregulation in that sector during his first run, and that could continue, which is good for those companies.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Banks are in a similar boat. Looser regulations tend to benefit the financial sector.
Interesting. Now, this next one really caught my eye. Cryptocurrency. Why is that being linked to a potential Trump presidency?
It's funny, right? Because you think of cryptocurrency as this, anti-establishment thing.
Yeah, totally.
And there's this feeling that it aligns with that same populist wave that got Trump elected in 2016.
So it's more about tapping into that sentiment than any specific policy.
Exactly. It's all about the vibes, man.
It's all about the vibes.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
now we can't talk about Trump without talking about Tesla, right? Elon Musk is pretty vocal about his support.
Oh, yeah. And that alone could impact Tesla's performance big time, especially if we see any trade wars or supply chain disruptions like we did last time.
Yeah, the Tesla factor is one to watch for sure. Oh, and speaking of Trump and companies, there's that Trump Media and Technology Group core.
Right. The one listed as DJT. It'll be fascinating to see what happens with that if he gets back in the White House.
Yeah, any policies affecting media or tech are going to hit that one directly. Okay, so we've got energy, banks, crypto, Tesla, even Trump's own company potentially shaking things up. Now let's face the music and talk about the scenario everyone's trying to avoid, a total election deadlock.
This is the wild card. It's the one that throws the most uncertainty into the mix, which the market hates, you know?
Yeah, uncertainty equals instability, which can be scary.
If things get tied up in legal battles, or even worse, we see social unrest.
It could get really messy really fast.
Exactly. The market could become super unpredictable, huge swings, the dollar going crazy. It'd be a wild ride.
Yeah, not the kind of ride anyone wants to be on.
No. And it would be tough to say which sectors would come out on top in that scenario.
Okay, so 3 very different scenarios, each with its own set of potential winners and losers. It's amazing how much politics can impact the economy.
Yeah, they're totally intertwined. It's always interesting to see how one influences the other.
Totally. So with all this in mind, what's our takeaway for listeners? What can they do now to prepare their portfolios no matter who wins?
Yeah, that's the big question. This is the time to get strategic. Think about how these potential shifts could impact your investments.
Exactly. Because knowledge is power, right? Even when things are uncertain, if you're informed, you're in a better position to make smart decisions. And hey, that's what we're here for, to help you navigate these choppy waters.
Exactly. Stay informed, do your research, and make sure your portfolio is ready for whatever comes next.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for breaking it down. This was super insightful.
No problem. Always happy to chat about this stuff.
And to all our listeners out there, stay tuned. We'll be back with more deep dive soon.
See you next time.
Take care, everybody.